just completed the upper extremity sequence. Now we're going to go into some core, back, and glute muscles. Very important in golf. Low back pain is probably the #1 injury. It is the #1 injury among amateurs and professionals alike. So what we're going to do for the low back, first of all, I must say there's no substitute for core. You need to do a ton of sit-ups. There's a million ways to do that. If you need any help with that, contact me. Today I'm going to show you some exercise you're probably not as familiar with in order to target low back, glutes, and hips. So for this, we're going to start on all fours. And the most important part here is creating mobility in the spine. And what we're going to do is a cat and dog exercise where you're rounding the back, arching the back. So you round the back, the chin comes down towards the chest. And as you arch the back, the butt sticks out and you look up towards the ceiling. The next motion with this is we're going to go side to side. This one, the butt goes to the same side as the head, and you imagine creating a little C with the spine. And the last plane of motion, in order to get all planes of motion of the spine, we want to work on rotation. And to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to slide your arm underneath the other arm into this position here. The other side. Good. While we're on all fours, another good exercise to work your multifidi muscles of the low back, Superman exercises. On all four, you find your neutral posture by first rounding, arching, and then you go somewhere in the middle there. Maintaining that neutral posture, you're going to extend one arm back and the alternate arm. As you go up, you just pause for a brief second. The tendency will be to twist. You want to keep as level as possible. The other thing you want to avoid is preventing arching as you go back. You want to keep a neutral spine angle as you go. The next set of exercises will be lying on our back. And for these, we're going to work on what I call bridges. You go into this hook lying position with knees bent 90 degrees. You're going to lift your butt up here. And I have my arms off the ground. The reason is I don't want you using your arms for support. Arms off here, you're going to go up and you're going to hold for about 20 or 30 seconds. If this is very easy for you, we're going to do one leg bridges. For this, you lift one leg up so that the leg is parallel to this thigh, arms up here, and you're going to go up and hold. And on the other side, one leg up, hold. If you can do both of those, you progress to the next level, which is a little bit more challenging. For this, you're going to straighten your legs, you're going to point your toes, dig the heels into the ground, and from there you're going to lift the butt up. And once you're there, you're going to do a little walking in place. One knee bends, the other leg straight. The last position here is that you're going to step over and go up. An important point to make with these is if you get cramping in the hamstrings, you're not using your glute muscles to do the work. So a very important part of golf muscles is to get the glutes firing. I call it resurrecting the king. So to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to sit on your hands, legs straight, and you're going to contract the left butt cheek, then the right butt cheek. So as I contract the left butt cheek, the left hip comes up. As I contract the right butt cheek, the right comes up. And we're just going to alternate this till I get real comfortable doing that. If I can do it with legs straight, I bend the knees. Contract the left, right, right. The next step is you're going to try to contract the glutes without contracting the hamstrings.
So as I do that, I place my hands under my glutes. Actually, you're going to want to feel your hamstrings here, and here you're going to try to contract the glute without contracting the hamstrings. It's a very challenging exercise. I encourage you to work on it. Next, what I want you to do is, there's 3 very important stretches for low back pain. The first one is crossing the foot over the knee. You're going to reach through the legs, grab the hamstring or the knee, and you're going to pull the knee towards the chest. It works on your piriformis, it works on your hip rotators, very important muscles to stretch in golf. Doing that both sides, of course. The next step is to stretch the hamstrings. For this, you're going to have the opposite leg flat on the ground. Your femur is going to be perpendicular to the ground. Hold the hamstring, and from here you're going to straighten the knee. This is what I do dynamically, meaning I go up, hold for a few seconds, back down. Up a few seconds, back down.
Keep doing.
You can even go up, if that's easy for you, and then bring the toe to your shin. Do that on the other side as well.
Go ahead and do it.
The final one now we've stretched the hip rotators, we've stretched the hamstrings. I want to work on some specific hip exercises. For these, you're going to lie on your side. You get in a 90-90-90 position, arms out in front. The first move, it's called the clamshell, keeping the feet together. You're just bringing one knee off the ground and back down. Off, back down. There's no magic number on how many times you do this. I would start with 15 or 20. Once they get easier for you, you can do more. The next step is you keep the knees together and you bring the foot off the ground. This is called the reverse clamshell. And as we do these, you're going to be focusing on this glute medius muscle, which is doing most of the work. And again, how many of these you do depends on how strong you are there. I would do starting about 15 or 20 of these. If you feel comfortable with those, the next step is you're actually going to lift this knee about a fist apart off the other knee, and you're going to do the same motion. It's a reverse clamshell. The knee stays relatively still, and you're just working on this glute medius. You will feel this right in this area, and once we do 10 or 15 of these, we're going to go to the next step. If you're able to. If you've gotten a good burn on these and you're feeling a good workout, you may want to stop at this level. One more. Good. The next step is to extend the hip back and do that reverse clamshell again. And you do that 15, 20 times. The last step for this hip, bottom knee bent, this knee out, toe down, and you're just going to lift straight up and down. The important part here is that you don't let the leg drift forward and that you don't let the toe go up in the air. Toe stays down, and make sure it goes straight up and down in this direction. That'll be a great workout for your hips, low back. Make sure to do a lot of core work. One more that I want to show on the back that I did not go over. The importance of learning to flatten the pelvis before doing a sit-up. Imagine having someone having their hand underneath here. You want to flatten by rotating this pelvis back and pulling the stomach down into the ground. And from that position, you can do all sorts of different sit-up routine, whatever you choose to do for your low back.